we need to stop the washing machine because that's going to keep beeping until it's done.
No, it's done now. Once the song's done, it's done.
Are you ready? This is going to be a story time, babe. It's hot, careful.
Yeah, that's way too hot.
Tell me when you're ready then.
Yeah, go.
I'm not just going to be like, so.
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. That was a bit loud, wasn't it?
I know, she's on 10.
I've got the adrenaline rushing.
So welcome back to the channel. Ruth has just been away to London, and in this video, she's going to be telling me all about her journey.
It's a vibe. Are you ready? Put your seatbelt on.
I'm ready.
Put your plane seatbelt on. No, the one down here.
Oh,
the lap belt.
Well, they won't see it across.
So I took notes because there was too much to contend with. So I took notes because I was like, I don't want to forget anything.
Yeah.
Also, sorry if I cough, I have AC throat as well.
AC throat.
ACT. Get it? So I left here and I went from Canberra to Sydney. That was the first flight, right? So that's like less than an hour. Nothing can happen in that hour, you'd think. Check the bags, boarded, everything, got on the plane. I thought, fine, because it's the first flight, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's the first time your body's used to the motion. So I was like, okay, cool. Then there was some Ed Sheeran guy that sat near the window.
Okay.
He looked like Ed Sheeran.
Okay, all right.
A bootleg version of Ed Sheeran, that maybe had a bit too much to drink. And then there was like I don't even want to say middle-aged woman because I'm middle-aged and me and her were not peers. There was a slightly senior woman, maybe 50.
All right.
Yeah, but she was
put together.
She was beat.
Yeah.
Put together. You could tell she worked out. Like she was alright. And then there's me, la 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 la, my egghead. General chit chat. Then the plane takes off. Again, no dramas. And then there's a bit of turbulence. I said, oh no.
Here we go.
Oh no. So I read this thing that if you look at a steady point that's not moving, it chills you out because you realise the whole plane is not shaking. So I was practicing it and I looked and I was like, oh actually it really does help.
Okay.
The thing that makes you scared is because you think the plane is going like that because you're going like that.
Yeah.
So I was just staring, then I smelled wine. So turbulence happened, I'm panicking. I looked, my girl thought her whole wine over his book and his trousers. Imagine.
Oh no.
And he's like this, oh it's okay. So he's trying to dry it with his hand.
Yeah.
And I'm looking, I said, whoa, nothing to do with me. I just said, I didn't say anything, I didn't even get involved. I said, and then she tried to engage me in the conversation because I had headphones on and they're conversing. By this time, I'm not listening to anything. I'm listening to their conversation. He was telling her that he's got two kids, he lives in Sydney, but he comes to Canberra for work. They were having a full-blown conversation. I got my headphones on, my girl is drunk. She turns to me and she goes, this is why I can complain, so I'm not scared. Because she could obviously see us panicking, innit?
So if you don't know, Ruth is
I'm a nervous flyer, like I am.
Yeah, Ruth's a nervous flyer. Anxious. Ruth is a nervous, anxious flyer. And this is the first time she's gone by herself for that far. We had already started from 2 weeks before she left. You're gonna be fine. Hearing some of this, it's a bit like confirming why she's a nervous flyer in the first place.
That's what I'm saying. And you know me, when turbulence comes, why do I push up?
Because
you know that turbulence, when it's like this, it's fine because I'm like I'm in a car. But why does it go up and down? And then when it goes up, I push up with my hands, my arms go up.
Way.
So then the next flight was from Sydney to Dubai.
Yep.
And I was a little bit worried I was going to be trafficked, if I'm honest. Wasn't worried about wasn't worried about the flight, just it's a long flight, what if they try and traffic me? So this is what goes on in my head, it's dark in there. So you know when you get to the airport and you've got to like, they did it in New York, you've got to scan your passport and then it basically opens up a door for you to go through. So they scan it, they scan your face and then you go through.
Yeah.
Why wasn't mine working? So I waited my time in the line, mine wasn't working. So I thought, because I travel with 2 passports. One's got my permanent residence visa on, and then the other one is like my most recent one that had my returning residence visa and is a valid passport. But this guy told me take 2, so that's a great thing because I actually needed 2 the whole time. The whole time. So wasn't working, so I thought, I'll bet my old one, let me go scan my old one. Didn't work either. So then the guy was like, scan it again, it didn't work. He's like, oh, you're gonna have to go down the end. So I said, okay, fine.
So I guess this is playing up to the, I'm gonna get traffic.
That's what I'm saying. Because at this point, I'm thinking he's sending me to the traffic line, and if they think you fit the bill, then they send you to that line. Do you know what I mean? That's the purpose of that mirror in front, the camera in front. It's not to check your face against your passport, it's to check that you're good enough to be trafficked. So at this point, my life flashed before my eyes. I said, what am I gonna do? I said, let's go. I'll make them believe I'm crazy so they actually won't traffic me. I had a whole strategy in my head.
It's dark in there.
It's dark in there.
It's dark in there.
So I went down to the end and then I showed the woman my passport. She checked both passports. She was asking me, oh, why do you have 2 passports? And I explained. And she was, oh yeah, that makes sense. Really nice girl, young girl. She had really nice nails. Then she called her manager over and was like, oh, which passport do I use? And then she reiterated what I had told her about why I've got 2 passports. And she said, oh, you have to try this one. In the meantime, that same manager took my passport and then the girl told me, oh, you have to go through now and go sit over there. So at this stage, I'm thinking that's the madame.
Yeah.
So this girl was checking. He was like, I think you hit the bill. Then when I got there, the girl was like, yeah, she hits the bill. She called the madame to come and get me. By this stage, my girl's walked off with both my passports. So I feel vulnerable as hell because I'm like, I've got no passports in my property right now.
Yeah.
She's gone. She went into a back office and said, would you sit here?
Jesus.
I said, sure.
So for those of you who think Ruth is just normal, this is what I have to deal with every single day. That's her telling me things that she tells me on a daily basis.
Facts. She took my passports in and then I stood there and I thought, oh, let me sit down. Because then they definitely won't traffic me because they won't see what's behind there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because it'll be on the chair. My hands were sweaty at that stage because I'm like, I don't know who she is. I don't know why. They haven't told me why she's taken both my passports. Next thing I see this heifer photocopying both my passports. I said, oh no, you're not going to create a fake ID. Oh, absolutely not. So I said this, I said,
give you a new passport, yeah?
Do you know what I mean? So I said, and then she saw me, I said, oh.
Yeah.
When she did this by this stage, I said, oh. I was looking over. And then she goes, oh no, it's all good. Here you go, you're all good to go. I've just put both of your visas onto your new passport.
Okay.
So you won't have this problem when you're traveling again and you won't have this problem when you're coming through. So she wasn't trying to traffic me. She was actually like, cool, like I'm helping you out.
Before you go on, so Ruth had to get a returning residence visa. So when we got our permanent residency, it lasts for 3 years.
3 years.
And literally it finished the week before Ruth had to travel, so which means we had to buy
it's like a bridging way.
So and that lasts for 5 years.
Yeah. So the permanent residence visa lasts forever, but the period of time where you can travel in and out without a secondary visa is 3 years.
One of the things that we were discussing was are we going to go for citizenship? And this experience almost solidified it to say yes, we're gonna go for citizenship because you can have dual citizenship. But let's carry on with the story.
So they said, oh, you know, you have to go sit in the lounge and then you just look on the screen and they call your gate. So I sat there, had a banana, flight was delayed. I text you, I was like, oh, flight delayed, a bit rubbish. Why am I hearing my full government over the speaker? They called my full government name. Ruth Aloysius Jalloh. Will you please, not my name, will you please come to gate whatever? I said, my plane is not boarding, I'm not late. Why are they calling me?
Traffic.
I was going to be put on this special plane to this special island.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that, it was because she had to let them know in Dubai that I was coming.
Okay. VIP. Special guest.
Again, I'm like, why are you letting them in Dubai know that I'm coming? That heifer didn't do what she told me she took my passports for. Because this heifer asked me the same thing that first heifer asked me.
No.
Heifer number 2 ripped up my boarding pass and said, oh, I've given you a different seat. I've given you a seat with more legroom. So I said, oh, perfect, thank you. Brilliant. But first of all, I was like,
you need to tell me that
you
first.
didn't give me a choice. I just saw her ripping it up. She called Dubai, then she ripped it up. So I said, oh, this is my second, And then she said, oh, no, I've given you a better seat, it's got more legroom. So she just wanted to check the same thing, and then she had to call Dubai and then tell them that I was coming, and then this is what's happened. If you're from Dubai, what are you called, Dubai-ian?
No. I have no clue.
I got talking to a family, they had a couple of kids as well, so I was like, they were like mucking about with the kids and like saying hi and stuff. Got on the plane, you know, people rush as well, that's the other thing. Why do people rush? The plane is not going anywhere without us. It has this time where it's closing the doors. We're all in this communal area. Chill out. You know the baby section where there's the bassinets at the front? I'm in the baby section next to a mum with a 12-week-old baby. So my first instinct was, FFS. That heifer took me from the seat I self-selected and had the cheek to put me there. I said, oh no. I was fuming at first. Then I looked at the woman next to me. She was going back up north and the baby was 12 weeks old. And we got to chatting and I thought, you know what? it's okay because I've been there with kids and she's flying on her own. So I thought, worst case is I can have a cuddle of the baby while she needs to go to Do you know what I mean?
I swear.
And the baby's not going to be awake the whole flight. I've got noise cancelling headphones and I'm also a mum. And maybe I was supposed to sit there because
universe.
Yeah, and I was like, maybe it's the universe. So we got comfy, we got sitting down, we got chatting. We were chatting for like 10-15 minutes before the flight took off. Tell me why the air stewardess decided to come move me.
Oh, for God's sake.
She came to move me.
Yeah.
So I was sitting, you know, you've got 3, 4, and then 3.
Yeah.
She moved me on to that 3. There was a girl, a boy, and then they put me there. As soon as I sat down, I felt bad energy. Not enjoying this. That's exactly what I said. I said, not enjoying this one bit.
Yeah.
And then she goes, oh, sorry, she said, we've got families. I said, I completely understand. But I'm not happy right here.
But you just moved me.
They could care less where I went.
Yeah.
I said I didn't enjoy their energy. So as soon as I sat down, I looked at them and I said, excuse me, not happy.
Yeah.
It's not working for me. So they gave me a 3rd seat. So I sat down. I'm next to a bodybuilder by this stage. So then so at this stage I'm sassy as hell, innit? Because I got used to the fact that I was sitting next to this mum and the baby, and I'd come to terms with that, and I was fine. Then you put me next to bad energy, but it was just bad energy. I looked at their faces, I said, nope,
no, not
bad energy. I'm not gonna sit here for 14 hours when my heart is feeling like you're just bad vibes.
Yeah. Aww.
So then they put me in a 3rd seat. I sat down, bodybuilder. I turned to the guy. Because I was here, then the mum was there, right? And then they put me over there.
Yeah.
So bodybuilder guy was already next to me, but there was an aisle.
Yeah.
There was an empty seat, then there was him.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So there was a seat there already. So I sat down, and then I just looked at him, and he saw what was going on, and he saw I wasn't happy because he was watching the whole shebang. And then I said to him, I said, this is the line. Don't cross it. And then he started laughing. He was like, I'll try not to. And then he was squeezing himself. And then we got settled down, and you know, you put your bags down and stuff like that. And then I must have put my arm on the armrest, and I felt that's the line. Don't cross it. And then he did it to me. I was like, touche. So then it was fine. I just put on my eye mask, my noise cancelling headphones. I put my coat on back to front, whacked my hood over my face. I went to sleep, pitch black. My girl had to rub my arm to wake me up for food. Then I'm on the flight from Dubai to London.
Yeah.
I sit down. I'm in the middle 4 again, the left one. Sit down. There's nobody next to me. And then there's an English couple that are on the other side. And I know they're an English couple because we got talking in the line about why do people queue up when their section hasn't been called. Because the 3 of us were trying to get through and we couldn't. And then the woman was like, I don't know why people do that. And I'm like, the plane leaves at the same time, right? And she's like, I know, it's so stupid. So we were basically bitching. We were doing the English thing of bitching. So then I was like, oh, they're on my aisle, that's nice. We can have general chit chat. So then he was there, she was there, there was a gap, and then there was me. And I was like, oh, there'll be somebody that comes and sits there. And then there was this, I'm assuming she was from India. I'm assuming. But just based on looking at her, so I'm not sure. She definitely had limited English, and I don't think she had flown before. So she didn't know how to do the TV and stuff. So for the first hour, she was just sitting there looking like that. And she looked really nervous. So then I was asking her, like, in my broken English, to her, like, if she wanted to. I just said, pointed at her, and I said, put it at the TV, and she said
yes.
So then I gave her the headphones, I plugged it in. I had the cheek to make my girl watch what I was watching. I synced our movies. Yes, I said, and I even counted, I said 1, 2, 3, then I just like smiled, and she smiled, she knew what I was doing. So we were watching the same movie, so we were laughing at the same time.
What movie were you watching?
The Holiday.
Oh.
Yes.
Brilliant movie, by the way.
Such a good movie.
And we watched it before she left as well.
And then there was really bad turbulence, and I've never experienced turbulence like it. And it was the up and down one, the side to side one. I just feel like I'm in a car, so I'm cool, I'm like a bobblehead. But the up and down one, I push up. Remember, I told you. So I'm raising the roof. She's frigging screaming. She was crying for her mum, and that's when I realized she didn't have much English. She was talking in her language, and then she said, "Mommy, mommy, mommy," and she was like physically shaking. And she was tiny, so I'm like, I went into mama bear mode. Why am I hugging her and holding her hand when I'm scared? But I was like, she's like crying for her mum. She's older than me. She's probably about my age, so we're peers. But she was literally crying for her mum and calling for her mum and physically shaking, like she was worse than me. So I just said, come in here, sweetie. And I held her hand, and then I was also shaking, and the woman next to us was like that, like we were weirdos. And I was like, it's okay, it's alright, you're alright.
Oh.
And she's like, and then afterwards she showed me, she said, I said, is you alright?
So it's almost like you need to see somebody who is in a worse situation than you for you to realise, actually, I'm not as bad as I thought I was.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And I put in my comments, we held hands.
Yeah.
I was scared, but so was she.
Sounds like a book.
I know. It's crazy, isn't it? So that's what got me there. And then I got there and then I was there for 2 weeks. So that was just one journey, one way.
Just everything happening.
It's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you want to hear about coming back?
Oh, do I ever?